Welcome to the devlog for the Fantastic Vegetable Slicer Simulator 2023 Extreme Super Double X Chronicle Edition, the remix. Unfortunately, the developer is suffering from a mix of hay fever, cold, and a severe case of I can't be bothered to record my voice, so I shall spend even more time to get an AI to do it for me. So I, the narrator, from the game generated using the Nicholas voice from Descript, shall be talking you through this devlog. Vegetable Slicer is a metagame heavily inspired by Fruit Ninja and the Stanley Parable. The game involves the player slicing through objects in the environment and slowly breaking the game and their computer. Its core message is to break the player's expectation of what a game is and messes with the player. Throughout the experience as the narrator, I shall be guiding the player and persuading them to stop breaking the game. But my ultimate purpose set by the almighty developer is to narrate and comment on what is happening while making jokes and references alongside the environment in hopes to get the player to laugh. The game splits into 5 major scenes: the dojo, the studio, blue screen of death, motherboard, and lastly the boss fight. The dojo is the starting scene that introduces the player to the game, the slicing mechanic, and most importantly, me, the narrator. The player will learn the core mechanic of slicing with the mouse by having to slice carrots, which is a reference to Fruit Ninja. This also serves as setting a false expectation to the player that this is a Fruit Ninja clone. Once the player has sliced 10 carrots and 1 golden carrot, they will then gain the ability to slice into the environment and can start following what the in-world text is telling them to do. The studio starts when the player slices the launchers and is given a crowbar, referencing Half-Life. The player can then slice and smash through a glass display revealing that the dojo is fake and that they were being recorded in a studio. This serves as a direct reference to Prey and the first moment where the player breaks through the first layer of the game environment and reveals it backstage. In this scene, the player will also get to confront me and kill me Count Dooku style. Based on playtesting data, greater than 90% of playtesters lost their composure laughing when they realized the Star Wars reference, though a worrying amount of them would like to dismember me limb by limb first before going for my neck. The copyright screen and blue screen of death scene act like an intermission rest for the player, though the developer did try his best to mimic a blue screen in hopes to trick the player into that their computer has crashed. This joke also serves as the next layer of the game environment breaking, where the game breaks out of the application environment and starts messing with the computer's software and OS. Here is also where I would reveal to the player to be alive and decided to team up with the player. The motherboard scene is where the player will need to slice bugs that are infesting the computer's motherboard. This environment acts as leaving the software layer and enters the hardware layer. This scene introduces sliceable objects that require multiple hits and also objects that would enact a negative effect when sliced. The final scene, the boss fight, involves the player fighting the game as the first boss, and then the developer as the second phase. This scene breaches through the final layer of the game environment, which involves the concept of the game and the creator itself. Once the player defeats them, the game will crash, and an error will appear notifying an error occurred due to there being no game. Thank you for watching the devlog. Since a large aspect of the game is my narration, and I only have 1 minute left I can record, here is a compilation of my greatest meta jokes. Oh dear, it appears that your recent actions have caused quite a stir. You see, this simulation is a highly complex and expensive endeavor. Unfortunately, your decision to do whatever it is you did has resulted in a mess that will require the attention of the janitor department. A prop. If you swing it around too much and cause damage to the game environment or other objects in the room, we could face significant copyright fines from George Lucas and Disney. Well, there goes the SSD. I don't even know why this impacts color depth, but it seems that the developer added the filter. But don't know what to pair this effect to, so here we are. Oh, dear player, it appears that I am trapped within this tower, much like Orange from the game Naruto. I beseech you, free me from this confinement so that I may aid you in your quest to challenge the developer. Finally, peace at last. Now that both the game and the developer are defeated, we are now finally free to whatever we want. Perhaps I can start working on my next game, the Steven parody.